Hello students, welcome to Dr. Savita Goel's English classes. You must have understood the play A Doll's House. Today let's discuss the significance of the title of this play. The title is highly symbolic and highly significant. In fact, the doll here represents Nora, who's the protagonist of the play, and the house stands for the house where she lives with her husband. If one reads the play very carefully, one feels that the word doll has been used in the title in a rather ironic manner. Doll signifies passivity, beauty, and the basically feminine nature which is seen in Nora when we look at her from outside. Indeed, from the point of view of her husband, who's basically a very traditional, possessive kind of husband, Nora, the doll, is something like an inanimate object, a non-entity with which he can play and enjoy. As Nora says at the end of the play, she has been her father's doll until her marriage, and she has been her husband's doll for 8 long years since her marriage. The word doll in the context of this play is highly significant. Nora is a doll. During the 8 years which she has spent at Helmer's house as her marriage partner, she has always been very passive, very subservient kind of wife. It is true that once she took a bold initiative by entering into a transaction with Krogstad and obtaining the requisite amount of money in order to take her husband to Italy because he was seriously ill, and the doctors had told her that he could survive only if he were taken to a warm climate. The step which she took on that occasion certainly shows that she was no doll. During 8 years following her husband's recovery, she has regularly been paying monthly installments to Krogstad against the principal amount and against the interest which has been accruing thereon. This too shows that she is no doll, especially because she has regularly been dealing with Krogstad and has yet never allowed her husband to become aware of what has been going on between her and Krogstad. Apart from this, however, she has been more or less a kind of doll, obeying her husband's wishes and always conforming to his views and to his ideas and tastes. As the play begins, Helmer, her husband, addresses her wife as if she were a pet. He addresses her as a little skylark and as his little squirrel, and she fully responds to these terms of endearment. In fact, it has become a normal practice for Helmer to address her thus, and she accepts the role of a pet without in the least being conscious of anything unusual about it. It is true that she enters into an argument with her husband over the amount of money that should be spent on the occasion of Christmas festival, telling him that they can afford to be a little extravagant this year in view of the new job which he is going to take up and which will bring him a much bigger income. But her manner of arguing clearly shows that she has to submit to the wishes of her husband, who is conscious of his powers over her and who says in categorical terms to her, quote, "No debts, never borrow," unquote. Immediately afterwards, however, Helmer tries to humor her by saying, quote, "My little singing bird must not go drooping her wings," unquote. Helmer's whole attitude towards Nora consists of a feeling of authority mingled with deep affection, but the feeling of authority predominates. The authoritarian attitude of Helmer becomes more emphatic when he rejects Nora's recommendations on behalf of Krogstad. By the end of Act 2, no doubt is left in our minds that Nora is entirely dependent on her husband. She seeks his advice as to what kind of dress she should wear at a party. She tells him that she cannot move a step without his guidance in this matter. Indeed, according to the ideas prevailing at that time, Nora is the model of wifely devotion. She loves Helmer so much that in order to save him from the disgrace of public disclosure of her guilty action committed 8 years ago, she is ready even to put an end to her own life. Previously, she wanted to kill herself so as not to continue to poison her home and deprave her children. But now she wants to put an end to her life in order to save her husband from disgrace and scandal. Accordingly, at the Act 2, we find her saying that she has now only 31 more hours to live. Nora has been living in the doll's house without having ever been conscious of the fact that she is treated like a doll. But the awakening comes with Helmer's totally unexpected reactions to Krogstad's two letters. After she has severely been reprimanded by Helmer, and then after she has been forgiven by him, Nora realizes that she has always been a non-entity in this house, and that she has been rendering blind obedience to convention and custom all these years in order to keep her husband happy. It now dawns upon her mind that her husband is not the man she has thought him to be. He neither has the moral courage to face Krogstad's challenge nor love her enough to come forward and take the blame for her guilt on his shoulders. Her love for him now drops dead and her mind now becomes active. She discovers that she is an individual in her own right, but that her individuality has remained dormant and suppressed all those years. She tells Helmer that she has been treating her as his doll wife, just as her father had in the past treated her as a baby doll. She tells him that their house has never been anything but a playroom, and that he has been playing with her just as she has been playing with her children. She says that she would now like to know things at first hand, and in order to do that, she must go out into the world alone. Her most sacred duty, she says, is not to him or to her children, but to herself. And so, Nora makes her exit from this doll's house. We find that At the end of the play, Nora is no longer a doll. She is a woman, an individual having her own identity. She thinks that now she would discover her own potentials and would seek to achieve a fulfillment of her ambitions. She would be facing an uncertain future, but she has now got the necessary self-confidence for this purpose. She has greatly matured. She has grown in stature mentally and morally. Who can predict what would happen to her? There is every possibility in the course of few years she would emerge as the leader of a campaign for the rights of women. In the course of a few years, she might distinguish herself as a feminist leader. The title of A Doll's House is very significant, very appropriate, because it signifies the kind of life that Nora had led for 8 years in her husband's home. Her exit from her husband's home is a climax in her life. Her exit can prove a new starting point for her. This is all for today.